ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So welcome back to Wisdom of Bhagavad Gita. We are currently covering chapter 17, which is entitled The Divisions of Faith. And in Sanskrit it is called Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yoga. So we started this chapter in one of the last sessions where we have covered the first 13 verses. So we saw that in the beginning, Arjuna asked, in the beginning of this chapter, Arjuna asked this question that where in the banyan tree, like in the previous chapters, Krishna has explained this banyan tree, and then he has also explained about the divine and demoniac nature. So the divine are on top and the demoniac are at the bottom. But where are these people who are having some faith, but they do not have faith in Shastra? So they are doing something as per their current faith, but they are not doing anything as per the Shastra, as per the scriptures. So where exactly they are on the banyan tree? That is a kind of question Arjuna is asking. So Krishna responds and says that if they are not following the Shastra, if they are not following the scriptures, then their faith is dictated by their acquired modes of material nature, whether it is goodness, passion, or ignorance. So depending on different modes that they will have different kind of faith. And based on the faith, they will be following a different kind of religion. So modes will dictate what kind of faith that they have, and depending on the faith, the kind of religion that they are following. But of course, the real religion is to have loving devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. But then Lord Shri Krishna goes ahead and says that the modes can be identified and can be modified based on the activities. And what kind of activities? The activities like worship, food that the person is eating, the sacrifices they do, charity that they do, austerity that they do. And in the last session, we have seen the worship in three modes, the food is in three modes, and the sacrifice in three modes. So worship in three modes, we saw that the person who's in a mode of goodness, they worship devatas. The person who's in mode of passion, they worship demons, especially atheistic people, some powerful, strong personalities in the on like people who are powerful. And then the people who are in mode of ignorance, they worship ghosts and spirits. So looking at who they are worshipping, we can understand their modes. At the same time, by changing the worship, they can also change their mode. So these things which are given in the 14th chapter, uh, like in this chapter as well as the next chapter, also the divine and demoniac nature chapter earlier, previous chapter. So all of this classification that Lord Shri Krishna is giving so that we understand where we are and how we can move further from where we are, how we can make progress. So that is why Krishna is actually taking so much effort in explaining various different things in three modes. So then he explained the food in three modes. So the person who is in mode of goodness, they eat food which increases the duration of life, it purifies one's existence and gives strength, health, and happiness. And then juicy, we saw the food which is generally the grains, milk products, uh, pulses, beans, vegetables, fruits. All of these things are food in mode of goodness. And food in passion, that gives distress, misery, diseases. So they are generally the food which is like too hot, too sour, too bitter, too salty, pungent, all of these things were in passion. And then food in ignorance, it gives laziness, foolishness, infection, and diseases. And we saw that food which is cooked more than 3 hours before, or food which is eaten by others, the food which is like meat, fish, egg, all of those things are coming into food which is in ignorance. Then Lord Shri Krishna also described the sacrifices in three modes. So the sacrifice in goodness is performed dutifully. The sacrifice in passion is performed with fruitive desires, and sacrifice in ignorance is performed unfaithfully. Like they are not giving dakshina to the priest, they are not distributing any food, prasadam after the sacrifice, they are not following the scriptures properly. So all of these things are in sacrifice, the sacrifices which is in mode of ignorance. And today we are going to see austerity in three modes, and then charity in three modes. And then after explaining this, Krishna explains that if you are in these three modes and performing these activities, how you can progress beyond these three modes? What can you do? So that is the last part of this chapter. Okay, so let us start with verse number 14. We have covered till 13, so we'll go to verse number 14. Now, before we go there, like this is the next 6 verses are talking about austerity. So before even Krishna explaining the austerity in three mode, Lord Shri Krishna is now explaining the austerity can be done by body, words, and mind. And these three austerities, like three modes, sorry, the austerity of body, mind, and word, can be done in goodness, passion, and ignorance. So it is 3 into 3. So austerity of body can be done in goodness, passion, ignorance. Austerity of words can be done in goodness, passion, ignorance. And austerity of mind can be also done in goodness, passion, ignorance. So first three verses, Krishna explains what is the austerity of body, mind, and words. And then he explains that these three can be done in goodness, passion, and ignorance. So that is why he has taken 6 verses. So this austerity topic is quite important. That is why Krishna has given some more emphasis onto it. So let us start looking at that. Verse number 14. Devadvija Guru Pradnya Pujanam Shauchamarjavam Brahmacharyam Ahimsa cha Shariram Tapa Uchyate. Yes, Vidushi Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Austerity of the body consists in worship of the Supreme Lord, the Brahmanas, the spiritual master, and the superiors like the father and mother, and in cleanliness, simplicity, celibacy, and non-violence.
Thank you. So Lord Shri Krishna is saying that austerity of body is in these three things, these 5 things actually. But first of all, he's saying Deva Dvija Guru Pradnya. So 4 personalities are mentioned. Dev is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Dvija is Brahmanas. Guru is spiritual master. And Pradnya means the superiors like father and mother. So worship of these people is the austerity of body. So we have to do some service to them. We have to worship them, means we have to give them respect. So that is austerity of body. Then cleanliness, living simply, maintaining celibacy, non-violence, all of these is austerity of body. Now devotees also do this kind of austerity. For example, when we go to the temple, first we offer obeisances to the devotees who are present there by chanting Vanchakalpadarubhyascha. Then we actually go and offer obeisance to Srila Prabhupada by chanting his pranam mantra. Then we go and offer obeisance to the deities by chanting their pranam mantras. So that means we are paying obeisances to all the devotees, to Srila Prabhupada, and then to the deity, the Supreme Lord Krishna, or Gaur-Nitai deities. So that is austerity of body. Then we also, like yesterday was Ekadashi, we fast on Ekadashi from grains, beans, pulses, like we don't eat those. So that is also some austerity of body that we are doing. The following four relative principles: no meat eating, no gambling, no illicit sex, no uh, what is the remaining? Uh, no gambling, no meat eating, no illicit sex, and oh,
Intoxication.
No
intoxication.
intoxication.
Yes. So all of these things we have to avoid. So of course, that is also austerity of body, because body wants all of these things, but we are trying to control all of that. So that is some control that is required. So that is austerity of the body. Then living simply. Instead of using everything in your own service, you have to start using everything in Krishna's service. So this is also austerity of body, because we are not keeping ourselves in the center. We are not trying to use everything for our benefit, our enjoyment, but we are offering everything to Krishna. So that is also austerity that we are trying to do. Now Krishna explains another important part, which is austerity of speech. This is very difficult. Let us look at austerity of speech. Verse number 15. Anudvegakaram vakyam satyam priyahitam chayat स्वाध्यायाभ्यासनं चैव वाङ्मयं तप उच्यते. Yes, Surananda Prabhu.
Correct, Prabhuji. Austerity of speech consists in speaking words that are truthful, pleasing, beneficial, and not agitating to others, and also in regularly reciting Vedic literature.
Thank you, Prabhu. So again, 5 points I mentioned for austerity of speech. First of all, anudvega. So not agitating to others. Udvega means agitating, but we have to speak in a way that we are not agitating to others. Satyam, we have to speak truthful words. Priya means we have to we have to speak pleasing words, or we have to speak this truth in a pleasing way. And even if sometimes something is truthful, do we have to actually mention it, whether it is beneficial to that person? Only then we should speak that. And then regularly reciting Vedic literature. So these are all called austerity of speech. So it means that we should not be unnecessarily speaking anything and everything. If we are regularly reading scriptures, then our words will automatically align to what is mentioned in the scriptures. We'll not unnecessarily gossip, we will not unnecessarily speak on other things. We'll always try to speak something about what we have learned from the scriptures. So that is why uh, regularly reciting Vedic scriptures is required. And when we are speaking, we will be able to quote some references from the scriptures. That will also give some weightage to your words. It is not for showing off that you're quoting some references, but to give some authenticity. So this is not that I have created this knowledge myself, but this is such and such scriptures. Scripture mentions this. Bhagavad Gita mentions this. Srimad Bhagavatam mentions this. Chaitanya Charitamrita mentions this. Ishopnishad mentions nectar of devotion or whatever. So that way we can say that this knowledge is coming from the acharyas. It is coming from the Supreme Lord as well. So that is how regularly reciting Vedic scriptures helps us. Now, not speaking the words which are not agitating to others is very important, because if we speak agitating words, anyway, your purpose is not going to get achieved. First of all, as soon as you agitate someone, the listener goes in the defensive mode. And when someone is in defensive mode, their brain is already shut off. They can't listen to you. They can't understand what you're saying. So even if then you're speaking the truth, people will not buy into what you're saying. They will not buy into your vision. On top of that, if it is agitating to them, it will break hearts, it will break relationships. And whenever there is some agitating words, this calm, intelligent discussion is almost impossible. So that is why, even if you want to speak something, if you speak in agitating way, yeah, it is your purpose is not going to get achieved. Then we have to speak truthful words. There is this famous story, sometimes like it is attributed to many different people, uh, but once, like when I heard it, it was attributed to Socrates. So one man came to Socrates and said that I'm dying to tell this news. And Socrates said, wait, wait, wait. Before you tell me this news, can you tell me, can you answer these three questions that I have? He said, okay, go ahead. So first question, is it truthful? Actually, I don't know. I heard it. Then he said, okay, still you can tell me if the answer for the other questions is affirmative. He said, what is the second question? Is what you're going to tell me is good? Is something good? No, no, it is in fact the opposite, the person said. Okay, still, the third question, there is still a hope. Is it something beneficial to me? He said, no. So then Socrates says that why tell me something which you do not know whether it is true or not, which is not even good, which is not even beneficial to me. So why tell me? Go and tell someone else. So, truthful. So gossiping generally, when it happens, it comes into this agitating as well as not speaking truthful, not something pleasing, or maybe those who are interested in gossip, for them it is pleasing, but actually it is agitating as well as not truthful as well. So we have to be careful when we speak. We have to actually confirm whether what we are speaking is truthful or not. Then the next part, even if it is truthful, is that pleasing to other people? Now, only if, for example, the parents who have responsibility over children, like, or the spiritual master who has the responsibility of correcting the disciples, they can speak truthful words which may not be pleasing to the hearer, because the disciples or the children are supposed to be guided by them. And if they do not guide, and they if always keep giving the pleasing words, then these people will not actually correct their mistakes. That is why for them it is allowed. Even Lord Shri Krishna as well, when he started speaking Bhagavad Gita in the second chapter, he chastised Arjuna. He said, Kutastva kashmalamidam Vishame samupastitham anarya drishtam aswargam akirtikara Arjuna. And then Kaibam masmagama partha. So those two verses, Krishna was chastising Arjuna. He's saying that what you're trying to do is anarya and it will give akirti. So this is not good. And Klaibyam, where is this importance coming into you? All of these things Krishna mentioned. So it was not very pleasing to hear for Arjuna. But Krishna had to speak because he was actually trying to guide Arjuna onto the battlefield. But in general, where you do not have that responsibility, in that case, even if something is very truthful, we have to really think whether it is going to be pleasing and whether we should be speaking this. There is a story once Akbar, where he had a dream. And in his dream, he saw that all of his teeth has fallen off and only one tooth remained. So when he woke up, he was quite puzzled that what is this? What is the meaning of this dream? Why did I get such a dream? So he called all the astrologers of his kingdom and he asked them that this is what I saw. So can you please think about it and tell me what could be the meaning of this dream? So all of these astrologers looked at all their various books and consulted with each other. And unanimously they said that Akbar, that the meaning is of this dream is all of your relatives would die before you. All of your relatives are going to die before you. And just hearing that, Akbar became very, very morose. That, oh, he was very disheartened, disappointed that all of my relatives are going to die before me. So he did not give them any rewards and he just sent them away. Later that day, Birbal came and he said that, okay, let me ask Birbal. And he explained to him that this is the dream that I had. Can you tell me what is the meaning? Now Birbal thought about it for a moment, and in his useful, like usual, thoughtful manner, then he explained that Emperor, that the meaning of this dream is really good. He said, how is it? So he said, you are going to live a longer and much more fulfilled life than your other relatives. And Akbar was incredibly pleased. He was thinking, "Oh, I'm going to live longer than my relatives, and I'm going to have a more fulfilled life than others." So he thought that, okay, this interpretation is very good. Actually, the meaning is same. If he's living longer than other relatives, that means the other relatives are going to die before him. But how you present it is also important. This is the job of anyone who is distributing this knowledge to others as well, the scriptural knowledge. The scriptural knowledge can be interpreted or presented, not interpreted, it can be presented in a different ways. So how you present that will make the other people accept it or completely reject it. So this is very important, how you present it. We have to be like this uh, technique that Birbal used. Present it in a positive way that people can accept it. And then it is mentioned that it has to be beneficial. That what is the intent? What are you trying to do? Why you are trying to do that? If you are saying something with the intent that it will be beneficial for someone, be a well-wisher to them, then that is austerity of speech. And of course, reciting the Vedic literature, we already spoke about in the beginning. And the devotees have to do quite a lot of austerity of speech as well, that we have to actually avoid fault finding in the others. We have to speak, like whenever we are speaking, we have to speak based on the scriptures, avoid gossiping, be always truthful, um, present this truth in a way that people can accept it. N- by your behavior, speech, try not to agitate others, and basically be well-wisher of everyone by giving them Krishna consciousness. So many things that the devotees also do as austerity of speech. So what you say is truthful and from the scriptures. How you say, not agitating to others, and it should be in a pleasing way. And why you say, it should be beneficial to the others. So this is how this austerity of speech can be done. And what we can learn from it? Very simple. We have already discussed this. So always speak truthful, pleasing, beneficial, and non-agitating words. And always read scriptures so that you are always please speaking truth. So this is a very important lesson. And those who have attended, we have done a whole 3-day retreat on this one verse. So it is like a big topic, but we have just given a summary gist of it. Let us move on to the next verse, which is the austerity of mind. मनःप्रसाद सौम्यत्वं मौनम् आत्मविनिग्रहः भावसंशुद्धिर् एतत् तप एत भावसंशुद्धिरेतत् भावसंशुद्धिरित्येतत् तपोमानसमुच्यते. Yes, Parminder Prabhuji.
Correct. And satisfaction, simplicity, gravity, self-control, and purification of one's existence are the austerities of the mind.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. So austerity of mind is mentioned here in this verse, 16th verse. Satisfaction. The mind is always hankering for new things, and it has unlimited desires. As soon as one desire is fulfilled, it is running after another desire. So that is why the austerity for the mind is to be satisfied in what we have. Live very simply. Gravity in thought, self-control, purification of one's existence. All of these are austerity of mind. So 5 points are mentioned for austerity of mind, 5 for speech and 5 for body. And devotees are also doing austerity of mind. And the most important austerity for devotees is to focus while chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Our mind just goes here, there, everywhere. And we have to bring that mind back to hearing the mantra, to hearing the mantra. And again, it will go. We have to bring it back. So we have to keep practicing bringing the mind back, not allow it to go and roam around the world, try to do our to-do list or whatever. We should just focus, try to hear the mantra. And it is possible to hear mantra properly in the morning. If you are not able to do in morning, then you can do other times as well. But in the morning time is a mode of goodness. So your mind will be less distracted. In the morning as well, it will go here and there, but it will go less. So that is why we can actually try to do it in the morning time. So focus during chanting, be satisfied, have some self-control, like the 4 regulative principles that we talked about earlier. It is for the body as well as mind, because that self-control is required there. And another place where the austerity of mind is required is eating only food which is offered to the Supreme Lord. Now that is for the body as well as mind. So eating prasadam is, in a way, it is for the body as well. But having that self-control to only eat prasadam. So if you are like on the plane, if you are in outside, then not just eat anything and everything that comes your way. You have to have some planning done and eat only prasadam and try to then, if you can't get it, then it's a challenge. Yeah, of course, the devotees can also offer uh, the prasadam, like the bhoga, in their mind and then eat it in case of emergency. Now, these three, which is austerity of body, word, and mind, which is explained by the Lord, now he explains how all of this austerity can be done in goodness, passion, and ignorance in the next 3 verses. Let us look at the 17th verse. Shraddhaya paraya taptam tapastत्रिविधं नरः अफलाकांक्षी भिर्युक्ते सात्विकं परिचक्षते. Yes, Mahendra Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. This threshold austerity, performed with transcendental faith by men, not expecting material benefits, but engaged only for the sake of Supreme, is called austerity in goodness. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Let us read the next 2 verses as well, because they are explaining austerities in passion and ignorance. Satkaram mana pujartham tapodambhena chaiva yat kriyate tadiha proktam rajasam chalam adhruvam. Who wants to read? Yes, Parminder Prabhuji and then Mahendra Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Penance performed out of pride and for the sake of gaining respect, honor, and worship is said to be the mode of passion. It is neither stable nor permanent. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Moodagrahenatmano yat pidaya kriyate tapaha parasyota sadhanartham va tattamasam udavritam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Penance performed out of foolishness with self-torture or to destroy or injure others is said to be in the mode of ignorance. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So austerity in 3 modes. So these threefold austerities of body, mind, and words can be done in goodness, passion, and ignorance. How you do it in goodness? So this austerity is performed with transcendental faith. not expecting the material benefits and for the sake of Supreme. So the focus is not on the self in these three things. So their faith is in transcendence, in absolute truth. They are not expecting anything for their own benefit, and it is done as an offering to the Supreme Lord. So, goodness. Passion, it is performed out of pride to gain something for them, to gain respect, honor, worship. It is neither stable nor permanent. It is flickering. Sometimes they will do it, sometimes it will not be done. It will not be done. So that is the austerity in passion. Like for doing anything steadily, you require some goodness. For example, chanting every day requires goodness. Waking up early in the morning requires goodness every day. But passion, sometimes they will chant, sometimes they will not chant. Sometimes they will wake up, sometimes they will not wake up. So it is up and down, up and down. So passion doesn't have steadiness. Goodness has the steadiness. And ignorance, the austerities perform foolishly with self-torture to destroy or injure others, like the austerity of Hiranyakashipu. He was self-torturing. He's torturing himself so much. His austerity was when he was doing the austerity, like all the bugs and ants had already eaten almost all his flesh. But because of his potency, the power that he had, so he was still maintaining his prana, his life within just almost the bones were remaining. Within that, those bones, he was maintaining his life. So it was quite a lot of self-torture. And then it was to destroy others. As soon as like he was quite austere, he was not eating, he was not enjoying anything when he was doing that tapasya. But as soon as he finished it, he was trying to conquer everything and take everything for his own enjoyment. And it was for injuring others. He was performing austerity earlier and he was torturing himself. But as soon as the austerity was over and he got the boon, he was torturing others. So that kind of austerity is in austerity of is in the mode of ignorance. So we should avoid doing austerity like this in passion and ignorance and try to do austerity in goodness. Now Lord is explaining the charity in three modes. So let us read the next three verses together and then we will see the translation. Yeah, number 20. दातव्यम् इति यद्दानं दीयतेनुपकारिणे देशे काले च पात्रे च तद्दानं सात्विकं स्मृतम्. Yes, correctly, Mataji. Or save Crash Group.
Charity given out of duty without expectation of return at the proper time and place, and to a worthy person is considered to be in the mode of goodness.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. यत्यु प्रत्युपकारार्थं फलम् उद्दिश्य वा पुनः दीयते च परिष्क्लिष्टं तद्दानं राजसंस्मृतम्. Who wants to read? Oh, again, Pamindra Prabhuji. Go for it, Prabhuji. And then Surananda Prabhuji. Usual suspects.
But charity performed with the exceptions of some return, expectation of some return, or with a desire for fruitative results, or in a grudging mood, is said to be charity in mode of passion.
Thank you, Prabhuji. अदेशकाले यद्दानम् अपात्रेभ्यश्च दीयते असत्कृतम् अवज्ञातं तत्तामसम् उदावृतम्.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. And charity performed at an impure place at an improper time to unworthy persons or without proper attention and respect is said to be in the mode of ignorance.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So very simply and clearly, Krishna is explaining the charity done in three modes. How is the charity done in goodness? The charity is given out of duty and there is no expectation of return. You are not giving charity so that you can get benefited out of it. It is just done out of duty. and there is absolutely no expectation that the person has out of it. And it is done at proper time, at proper place to a worthy person. And Srila Prabhupada explains that this to the worthy person refers to a devotee of Lord Shri Krishna. So that is where the charity should be given. And then automatically it is proper time, proper place to, like, it gets utilized in Krishna consciousness. So it is in fact, it is pure goodness that charity will be. Then passion, the charity is given with some expectation of return, that I am helping someone now and that person will help me in future. So then that becomes a transaction. Even though you are giving away something, it becomes a transaction that I am actually doing it for some expectation in the return. And with desire of fruits, even if you are not expecting something, you are thinking that in this life I do not get it, but in future life I will get some good fruits. That if I give enough charity now, then in the next life I will have enough money. Or sometimes the charity in mode of passion is given in a grudging mood. They are unwilling, but because someone has already given and in peer pressure, they may also give some charity. Charity in that grudging mood. Or after giving charity, they are thinking that, oh, why did I part away my money? So they are quite unhappy about the charity which was given. So that is charity in mode of passion. And charity in ignorance, at impure place, improper time to unworthy person, no proper attention is given while giving charity, and no proper respect is given. So at impure place, improper time, unworthy person. So someone wants quite a lot of, someone is suppose addicted to alcohol, and he comes to you and says that, oh, I want to drink, but I do not have any money. You are my best friend. Can you lend me some money? And you say, Arey, I'm your friend. I have to give you some money, and you give him some Lakshmi. So that means you have given charity to someone who's unworthy at improper time and improper place. That he is, suppose, outside of a pub. So immediately he's going to take the money and use it in buying alcohol and drinking it. So that kind of charity is not only not good for the person who received the charity, but also bad for the person who's giving the charity. Because that charity is in mode of ignorance. And even if sometimes you are giving charity to the right person, if you give it without giving proper respect and proper attention, in a proper way that you are giving to them, like you give a charity but throw it in their face to a right person you are giving, but it is done with a wrong way. So it is not giving proper attention and not giving respect to the person. Then also it becomes charity in mode of ignorance. So we have to actually make sure that we are giving charity out of duty without any expectation of return to a Krishna conscious cause. And that is the way we can make progress in our life. Now, after explaining all of this, now the Lord is going to explain, even if you are doing all of these activities in passion, ignorance, goodness, because finally, even mode of goodness is not good. We have seen that before. Even goodness actually binds you here. So, what should you do to come out of the reactions of doing all these activities in goodness, passion, and ignorance? The formula is given in the next few verses. So, let us read those verses. Verse number 23. Om Tat Sat iti nirdesho brahmanastrividha smritaha brahmanastena vedascha yajñascha vihitah pura. Yes, Kalaki Mataji.
Hare
Go ahead.
Krishna Prabhuji. From the beginning of creation, the three words Om Tat Sat were used to indicate the supreme absolute truth. These three symbolic representations were used by Brahmanas while chanting the hymns of the Vedas and during sacrifices for the satisfaction of the Supreme. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So it's a simple formula, so simple that any activity that you are doing, you just have to chant Om Tat Sat. So if you do not, like if you are not a devotee, if you do not understand and you are not directly doing the process of bhakti, and then you are not directly offering everything to Krishna, but you are still doing, like we have to remember that this chapter is explaining those people who are not performing anything as per the scriptures, but they are just doing their activities based on the modes that they have acquired. For such people, Krishna is recommending that, okay, whatever you are doing, just say while doing the activities Om Tat Sat. So that way you are offering all of these activities to the Supreme Lord by saying Om Tat Sat. Now, in the beginning, Om Tat Sat may be just words. There is no intention of offering anything to the Lord, but that is a good beginning. And slowly, slowly, then you will understand what is the meaning of Om, what is the meaning of Tat, what is the meaning of Sat, which is explained in the next three verses. We'll see that. So this is what Krishna is suggesting to the people, that just chant Om Tat Sat. And um, so it is mentioned that superior to the process of gradual elevation, like from if you're doing performing the activities in ignorance, then change it to passion, then change it to goodness. So this is a gradual elevation process. But superior to that is taking the devotional service indicated by Om Tat Sat. Now, what is Om is mentioned in the next verse. Tasmad Om ityudavritya यज्ञदानः तपः क्रियः प्रवर्तन्ते विधानोक्ता सततं ब्रह्मवादिनाम्. Yes, Vidushi Mataji.
Therefore, transcendentalists undertaking performances of sacrifice, charity, and penance in accordance with spiritual regulations, spiritual regulations begin
Scripture
all.
regulation.
Scriptural regulations begin always with Om to attain the supreme.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank
So
you.
Om is a representative of the Supreme Lord. So out of when these Brahmanas are chanting Om Tat Sat, when they are performing all these activities, Om is representation of the Supreme Lord. So that is what is mentioned in this verse. Now the next verse is explaining what is Tat. Let us look at the next word. Tad itya anabhisandhaya phalam yajna tapah kriyaha dana kriyascha vividha kriyante moksha kankshibhi. Yes, Pamela Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Without desiring fruitive results, one should perform various kinds of sacrifice, penance, and charity with the word Tat. The purpose of such transcendental activities is to get free from material entanglement.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So Tat indicates that everything should be done in pursuance of liberation. Moksha kankshibhi. So everything should be offered to the Supreme Lord, and our activities mainly should be focused on the purpose of such transcendental is to get free from material entanglement. We should always be thinking that instead of doing all of these activities that we are doing for our own enjoyment, which is passion and ignorance basically. So if you are doing everything for your own enjoyment, that is mode of passion and ignorance. Instead of that, we have to actually offer it uh, for self-realization. We have to actually do all of these activities for getting free from these three material modes, which is basically in a way called moksha. So one should perform various, without desiring fruitive results, one should perform various kinds of activities, and mainly to get free from material entanglement. And that is indicated by the word tat. Now, what is indicated by the word sat? Which is mentioned in the next two verses. Sadbhave sadubhave cha sadityetat prayujyate prashaste karmani yat tatha Sachabdaha partha yujyate yadne tapasi dane cha sthiti saditi chochyate karma chaiva tadarthiyam sadityeva bhidhiyate. Yes, Mahendra Prabhu.
Next, Prabhuji. The absolute truth is the objective of devotional sacrifice, and it is indicated by the word Sat. The performer of such sacrifice is also called Sat, as are all works of sacrifice, penance, and charity which, true to the absolute nature, are performed to please the Supreme Person, O son of Pratha. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So Sat. So the absolute truth is Sat. The performer of such a sacrifice is also Sat. And all works of sacrifice, penance, and charity, which is true to the absolute nature, are also Sat. So Sat is basically indicating spiritual existence. So if you are doing some activity which is spiritual in nature, that is Sat. Sat, if you remember, Sat is eternal. That is why we say Sat Sangha or Satchidananda. Sat is eternal. So anything that you are doing on the spiritual platform is Sat. So Om Tat Sat. So Om is representative of the Supreme Lord. Tat is indicating that you are not doing it for yourself, but you are doing not for your own enjoyment, but you are doing it for the pursuance of liberation. So you are progressing from self-centeredness to Krishna consciousness. And Sat is indicating that it is the spiritual existence. So Om Tat Sat. Whenever you are doing some activities, if you say Om Tat Sat, with this thinking that you are invoking the Supreme Lord, you are doing this activity not for your own enjoyment, but for your spiritual existence, for making spiritual progress. So that is Om Tat Sat. Then you are making fast progress. You are not going step by step from ignorance to passion to goodness, but you are directly jumping onto the devotional service. So further, therefore, everything should be done as devotional service to Krishna. Now the last verse, 28th verse. Ashraddhaya hutam dattam tapastaptam krutam chayat asit asad ityuchate partha nachatat pretya no iha. Yes, Gita Jayanti.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, please.
Anything done as sacrifice, charity, or penance without faith in the Supreme, O son of Pritha, is impermanent. It is called asat and is useless both in this life and the next. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mata. Now this is a summary in a way of this chapter. So Arjuna had asked in the beginning that someone who is having faith in something but not in scriptures, what is the result of such person and where does that person fit? So here Krishna is saying anything done as sacrifice, charity, or penances, basically all these activities which Krishna has explained, but without faith in the Supreme. So if you're doing it in mode of passion, ignorance, goodness, it is of no use. If you are doing it, that means you are doing it without faith in the Supreme, then all of these things are asat. They are impermanent. They are not eternal, but they are temporary. It is called asat, and it is useless both in this life and the next. They are not good in this life because they are going to bind you in this material world. And they are good, not good for the next life as well, because you're not going to be liberated. You're just going to remain in this material world in the cycle of birth, old age, death, and disease. So this is how Krishna has wrapped up this entire chapter by saying that Arjuna, you are asking me this question that people having faith in other things, I have explained to you that all of these things can be done in goodness, passion, ignorance, and you can make slow progress towards mode of goodness. But even if you come to the stage of goodness, it is still asat. It is temporary. You are not going to get permanent results. it is not going to be useful for you in this life or even the next life. So what you should do? You should do all the activities with this consciousness of Om Tat Sat. You are offering everything to Krishna. And the devotees not even have to say Om Tat Sat if you are offering directly to Krishna. If you are cooking the bhoga and then offering it to Krishna, then you are chanting the mantras. You are chanting either the mantras chanted for offering, or you are at least chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So that way you are offering that. But if you do not know any other mantra, you want something quick, then you can say Om Tat Sat by keeping the plate there, and that way Krishna will accept it. You are not doing it for yourself, and then you are taking that as a prasad. But best is to chant the mantras that we have spoken about before. So here, the last point today is activities done without the transcendental objective, without faith in the Supreme, are useless in this life and the next. So what should we do? Offer everything to the Lord. Without the Lord, everything is useless for all of us. That is how we have completed this chapter. Any questions, comments, reflections, or any other summary points? Okay, Suralanda Prabhuji.
Yeah, Prabhuji, mainly we covered about austerity of body, mind, and word. So I just want to talk about the austerity of speech. I remember the session that you are talking about in the retreat. So yeah, immediately I went into that thought when you started this. But yeah, so if you are speaking something, it should be not non-agitating, and it should be truthful, and it should be pleasing to other person who is listening. It should be beneficial to the other person, and yeah, we can achieve this by regularly reciting Vedic literatures.
Yeah, very good, Prabhuji. Thank you. Amendra Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So, somebody I understood was like there is a slow way and there is a highway. So pretty much either you can progress in stages. So let's say charity also have multiple level, and it's not just what you give, but whom you give, how you give, and things like that also matter. But apart from that, like some ways that still it will be not best you can do is in mode of goodness, but anything you do, if it's not offered to the Lord, and it's not something that you're not doing just to gain anything in return, then I reckon pretty much that's where the actual our goal should be towards the Supreme Lord.
Yeah, so everything should be offered to the Supreme Lord. Yes, very good. Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, Mahendra Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Just cover the end part, Om Tat Sat. So Om is the representation of the Supreme Lord. Tat is transcendental activities done in pursuance of the liberation. So basically to get free from the material entanglement. And Sat is your spiritual existence. It's eternal. And the summary of the chapter you mentioned, Lord Krishna said in the text 28, which is anything is done without faith in the Supreme is impermanent. It's temporary. That's why it's called asat.
Yeah. Excellent. And the opposite is like any activity which is done with keeping Krishna in the center is eternal. It is Sat.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Any other questions, comments, reflections?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, one important thing I feel,
Yes.
even activities that we do in the mode of goodness without faith is just useless.
Yes, very good. Anyone else has any other points to mention?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Maharaj.
You told about the Om Tat Sat.
Yes.
At the end of puja, we should just say like this. So I think the Lord will be happy. Or if you don't know anything, so we should say Om Tat Sat. Om means Supreme Lord. That mean doing for everything the pleasing for the Krishna, not for yourself. And the Sat means spiritual existence.
Yeah, eternal. Yes, very good. Thank you, Mother.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Anyone else has any other thoughts or reflections on what we discussed today? Any key takeaways for you? Surananda Prabhuji?
Prabhuji, this is a question.
Yeah.
Around Om Tat Sat. I think some other, I think Mayavadi followers also, they say Om Tat Sat, Prabhuji. So how should we understand that?
Yeah, so Om Tat Sat is, it all depends on how you look at Om. Om is representing the Supreme Lord. So the devotees will, when they are chanting Om Tat Sat, they will say that Om is the Supreme Lord. But the Mayavadis may actually refer to Om as this without having any form. It's just a sound vibration referring to the absolute truth, Brahman. So depending on what is your consciousness, the Om Tat Sat can be actually going into two different directions. And that is why I said, like the devotees don't have to actually refer to Om Tat Sat uh, directly. Like Srila Prabhupada used to actually write Om Tat Sat earlier. But to avoid the confusion, then he started just asking devotees to focus on Krishna directly. Because why actually refer to Krishna with Om when you can actually chant his name Krishna? But for some people, it may be required, like that a direct path sometimes is not possible for everyone. So sometimes this indirect path is required. You remember in the 12th chapter when we were chanting, sorry, we were looking at this 12.8, 9, 10, 11, where we were looking at the devotional service which can be done at different levels. So there, why did Krishna have to actually give different ways or different stages of devotional service? Why did he not say that, okay, with just mind and intelligence, you, the highest level that was given, mind intelligence, you do devotional service? Because Krishna knows that not everyone will be able to do like this. So they said, okay, if you can't do like that, then you at least do sadhana bhakti. If you can't do like this, at least do some seva. At least do something for it which is not for yourself. So he went to that level. You do not even do for me. At least do some beginning and try to do something which is where you are not at the center. So that stage as well Krishna gave. Why he had to actually give? Because he knows that different people will require different paths, and not like the elevator. Some people may not be able to take. They may want to just go through the stairs and go one at a time. So that is why it is mentioned. But then afterwards, going further, he said that okay, fine. 18th chapter that we are going to talk about in the end, he said that Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. Then he's not saying there that you chant Om Tat Sat or whatever. But if you are not doing anything, then you chant, at least you start doing saying Om Tat Sat when you are doing all these austerities, sacrifices, chanting, sorry, not chanting, like the charity. So Yajna, Dana, Tapa, anything that you're doing like that, at that time you can do, you can say Om Tat Sat. But
Thank you.
otherwise, you should offer it to Krishna directly by saying that I am offering it to you, Krishna, or by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Okay.
Thank you, brother.
Yes, Mahendra Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, got a question related to this Om, just continuation of Surananda Prabhuji's question. So this Om is very commonly used in all the other mantras as well, right? Like Om Namah Shivaya, Om Gam Ganpate Namah. So how 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 does devotee should look at it, like in terms of the benefits or like or shouldn't be looking at the benefits, or when we are considering Om as a representation of the Supreme Lord. So devotees should be considering someone as a Supreme Lord, like Lord Krishna is a Supreme Lord, right? But in other panthas, they should be thinking about something else, right?
No, no, no. Om, the meaning of Om, whether you are a Ganesh Bhakta, you are a Shiva Bhakta, or any other Bhakta, Devi Bhakta, the meaning of Om doesn't change. Meaning of Om is always representing the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. We
Okay.
have seen earlier as well when we were talking about various different vibhutis. There it was mentioned that Om is referring to me. Krishna said that that is one of my uh, one of my vibhutis. So Om is not representing anyone else. Om is in fact chanted before every Vedic mantra. And that is why you are saying that, for example, Ganesha's mantra as well will start with Om, because any Vedic mantra will start with the Supreme Lord. And even before chanting their name, we are chanting Om, which is representing Krishna. So that is how they get benefited, that by chanting Om, starting with Om, they are remembering the Supreme Lord, and then they are chanting the other mantras. So that is how it works. So whether it is not that because you are Krishna devotees, then that's why you are saying that Om is representing Krishna. But if you are Ganesha devotees, then you will think that oh, Om is referring to Ganesha. No, Om is always referring to the Supreme Lord Krishna. And that is why Om is chanted before every Vedic mantra.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Makes sense. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Anything further? Okay, if not, then we will stop here and then we will jump on to the last chapter of Bhagavad Gita from next session, 18th chapter. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.